Normally people do premarital counseling before they, when they want to get married. But we started premarital counseling. The moment the guy proposed that you wanted to marry the woman of God, when he said he wanted to marry me, because I'm not an easy woman, I was also a tough woman. So we went through. But you know how God breaks you, how He molds you, how He makes you the way He wants you to be. Then that makes you a perfect match. Because I was taught submission before I was even engaged to my man. Talk to me about submission. Let's actually go there. You know, it's such a hot topic.
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of women, when we talk submission, it becomes such a hot topic. Like, oh, why should I submit? Explain to me the biblical aspect of submission and bring it into today's environment. You know, for the modern woman. And while we're there, talk to me about the modern Proverbs 31 woman as well. Okay, let's just look at the word submission. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Moments with Nyengeterai. I'm so excited that you're back here, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for subscribing, for sharing. I'm just loving this community, the comments that you're sending, the people that you want us to interview, and also the topics that you want us to talk about. I'm going to do my best in this season 3 to make sure that I meet all your demands. So today I have a very interesting guest, and I'm so looking forward to this conversation. I mean, from the day we spoke about her coming last year is when you spoke about this date, and we locked the date in last year, and it's finally happening. Pastor Gwen, welcome.
Thank you very much, Nyendi.
I am really excited to have you because, I mean, first of all, you're a woman of God. But over and above that, just you're so vibrant, you know. And I really have so many questions that I want to ask you and things that I want to get into. But before we start, I want you to introduce yourself to the few people who might not know you. Who are you? What do you do? You know, just a short, brief intro.
Wow, my name is Gwendoline Kanokanga. Turning 60 this year.
No ways.
Yes, girl.
How black don't crack.
Yes, I've been married for 35 years. And it's been 35 years of marital bliss. Married to Davison Kanokanga, a legal practitioner, an author, a preacher, motivational speaker.
Wow.
Yes, a mother of 2. Mother to Prince. Prince is also a legal practitioner. And King is a chef, and at the same time is into IT.
Wow.
Yes, and King is married to Benilda. Benilda is into life coaching.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and Prince is married to Dr. Chelsea. Yes, so we've got our great kids. I'm happy. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm the senior pastor for Impact Christian Center, but I pastored in Zayoja for 26 years, and I was like maybe one of the first young teenage girls to be at the Bible school.
Wow.
So I was there for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so how old were you when you actually went to Bible school?
I was 9.
19. Wow. Okay, let's go to your childhood. Take me back to how you grew up and what made you go to Bible school at 19, you know. I mean, it's very rare, especially, you're turning 60 and I'm thinking 60 less 20, so that's almost 40 years ago or 41 years ago. What made you what part of your childhood made you want to know God so much that you decided to go to Bible school at 19?
It was my teen years, because during our time, that's where we used to have like the break dancing.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's where we used to go for teen things. You know those clubs those days. They used to go in the afternoon, like from 2 to 4. Like we used to have breads. We used to have, is it Aki's, Archipelago, places like that.
Okay.
So most of the teenagers those days used to go to those places. And I also used to go.
You grew up in Harare?
I grew up in Highfields.
In Highfields. Okay.
Lusaka.
Ah, okay.
Yes. And that's when I noticed that that's the time, that's when HIV/AIDS, people were now dying of HIV/AIDS, and I started noticing people dying and young girls dying. And those days I said, Lord, I want to give my life to Jesus. I don't want to go to discos anymore. I don't want to die. But the good thing those days, we also used to believe, we used to have the tetes who would speak into your life. So I had kept myself as a young girl. So I told myself that, no, I don't want to die. Then I started writing a book, which was called The Glory of Virginity.
Wow. How old were you when you wrote this?
When I wrote, I think I was 18, but then it was later published by EGA Publications.
Okay.
Yes, but when I was now maybe 19, 20.
Okay. But tell me, so when you decided that you don't want to die, did you hear a voice? Did God speak to you? I'm still fascinated by, how does an 18-year-old just decide I want to live a life of,
The first thing is, I first saw my brother. He had just come back from Romania. And then a friend of him invited him to a nightclub in Highfields called Saratoga. And it was his first time to go to Saratoga. And he was killed.
Oh, no.
And I was also asking myself, where did he go to? Did he go to heaven or did he go to hell?
Oh.
And then I started seeing people those days now also dying of AIDS. So I was saying, these people who are dying, are they going to heaven or to hell? And I used to dream people in hell. And I told myself, I will not go to hell. So no one preached to me.
Wow.
I just decided that I want to go to church. We grew up going to Methodist church in Highfields, Lusaka. But I told myself that I wanted something different. I wanted something Pentecostal.
Yes. Okay. So how were the early days going to Bible school, 19? Take me through that life, that environment, how did it change your life? And how did other people take, especially a young girl in those days, very male-dominated area? How did you maneuver?
Well, nobody took me serious, except for Baba Gut, the late Baba Gut. When he noticed that I was at the Bible school, he came to speak to me. But many people were discouraging me because they were telling me that you won't stay, you won't survive. Because those days also at the Bible school, we used to have what we used to call shantology, kushanda munu, kushanda character. And we used to have what we used to call black spot pinpoints. So you would stand in front and people would say whatever they want about you. So few people would survive that. And every day in the afternoon, from 2 to 4, you have manual work. So they would make you go to the toilet, maybe to be cleaning the toilets, or to be sweeping the yard, or to be going into the garden to dig. So I went through all that.
So tell me, this what Shantolo, what?
Shantology, kushanda kushanda unu, kushanda character. Sakachi imagine karona kakumaka. So it's your turn for people to be saying something about you. So people be saying maybe something negative, but they also want to see how you react when you are angry. So then ndatakadzidza kudzirasisa. But when you think I'm going to be angry, because I was a fear girl. I grew up in Highfields.
You grew up in, people in Highfields, yeah?
Yes, so those who would be expecting you to run away or to go, they were shocked. Yes. Because I knew what I wanted. They at the Bible school, and I knew what I already knew my future.
Wow.
Yes. And I also wanted to be amongst the men. Yes.
Wow. So from then on, then you finished Bible school, you graduated, and how did your life?
When I finished the Bible school, then Baba Guti said there was a ministry under him, which was inter-D called Fifth Chasm Forward in Faith College in the high school ministry. So we were working with students. It's like Scripture Union. So we used to go to colleges and high schools. So I was ordained as a youth pastor there.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Still very single. Yes, that's when I met my husband, when I was preaching. I first met him in the street, and then we went to preach at the university, at the CU. He saw a poster, and then he said, that's the girl I like. So he came and I preached. He repented. I told him to he repented.
And he was a Jew at this time? Or?
He was studying law.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was a university student. So I was already a pastor. Yes.
Wow. And then you got married?
Yes, so I got married. Yes. So to this guy, it was also something people, because those days, it was like a taboo. Someone who's not a pastor marrying a pastor. Well, now he's a pastor. When you marry a beautiful, good woman, obviously you will need to follow the footsteps. Then he was not a pastor. Yeah, people talked. Yeah, because it was unheard of those days in the early, because we got married in 1989.
Okay.
So 1989, oh wow, it was something.
Wow, so how did you manage that? I can imagine people looking and saying, how did you manage that, and how did you maneuver? And also, how did you get him to become a pastor?
Okay, the first thing is Bible school taught me to be tough. It taught me to work with people I don't like. People who don't like me until they like me. Yes, it taught me a lot. So when people were talking, I wasn't really worried, because they soon discovered who he was. Oh, he's such a gentleman. He's such a God-fearing man. Actually, people love him more than they love me.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. So when you look back, what can you say are the biggest life lessons that you learned, especially that time when you were a teenager and then going to Bible school? In that arena, what are the life lessons that you learned at that time that helped you that propelled you going forward?
During that time, it taught me as a young girl to have a dream, to have a vision, to know what I want for my life. And the trainings that I had when I was at the Bible school, it really helped me. Yeah, because when they were teaching us, it's not only theory, but there are so many life lessons.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
That you learn. Yes.
Oh wow, that's really amazing. And then, okay, you get married and then life goes on. So take me through your adulthood and how your being a pastor has impacted other facets of your life, and how have you maintained, like I look at you and your husband, you've been married for what, over 35 years?
This year, 36.
36 years. And how have you maintained, because like now you look at people, they get married, they have this massive wedding, and a year later, people are not married, they're divorced. What advice would you give to young people, and how have you managed to maintain this marriage for 35 years,
When I was a young girl, I used to have, when I went to Sayoja, I had many mentors. We used to have wonderful mothers. We used to have Mangoma. She was like my mother, and she used to talk to me about life, about being a pastor. We used to have Mama Guti, who's still my spiritual mother. Yes, I used to have my Ranga and my Mawoko. I had 4 ladies who used to speak into my life and talk to me. And we also did premarital counseling. Normally people do premarital counseling before when they want to get married. But we started premarital counseling. The moment the guy proposed that he wanted to marry the woman of God, when he said he wanted to marry me, because I'm not an easy woman, I was also a tough woman. So we went through. But you know how God breaks you, how he molds you, how he makes you the way he wants you to be. Then that makes you a perfect match. Because I was taught submission before I was even engaged to my man.
Talk to me about submission. Let's actually go there. It's such a hot topic.
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of women, when we talk submission, it becomes such a hot topic. Like, oh, why should I submit? Explain to me the biblical aspect of submission and bring it into today's environment. For the modern woman. And while we're there, talk to me about the modern Proverbs 31 woman as well.
Okay, let's just look at the word submission. The word submission is a military term. It's the Greek word for it is wupatasso. And wupatasso just means ranking yourself under. So it's like God is just telling you to rank yourself under. Like if you are in the military, when you've got your commander, you salute. So me being married, even if I can't say salute, but if I submit to him, do I lose anything? And when you look also at this modern men, they are different from Vanaba Bavedu. What he just wants is respect. So the Bible actually tells the woman to submit to the man as unto the Lord. So when I submit to him as a godly woman, actually I make it easy for him to love me, to do whatever I want. I don't have to force him to eat what I want. Like my husband likes okay, I love Nigerian dishes and so on. I don't have to force him to eat what I want. I cook for him. And these days, because we're now 2 of us left, he also comes to the kitchen. We help each other in the kitchen. But the main thing is I respect him. I honor him. And in turn, he respects me. He honors me. And you said something about the Proverbs 31.
The modern Proverbs 31.
Yeah, the Proverbs 31.
Because it all comes in together. Because I'm finding a lot of these young girls, because I sometimes I'm asked to come and speak to these forums where they're young ladies who've just gotten married or just young adults, And one of the, 2 of the hottest topics that they always talk about is submission. respect, and also the issue of Proverbs 31. Like, they think Proverbs 31 woman is archaic. And I keep saying, no, she's not. She's not archaic. If you really look at, you can actually bring it into the modern. So let's go there. Now that I have a pastor in the eyes.
Proverbs 31:10 says, who can find a virtuous woman? Who can find a noble, a phenomenal woman, a gracious woman, a good woman? Who can find her? For her worth is far above rubies. It's far above precious stones. That's a noble woman. And also, verse 26 says, she opens her mouth with wisdom. On her tongue is the law of kindness. So if you open your mouth with wisdom, how will you end up fighting with your men? Because on your tongue is the law of kindness. You are a gracious woman. So that's the kind of a woman the man wants, not an arrogant woman.
So tell me, Pastor, let's go there. I'll tell you because why. I have women who send me these questions. They'll ask me particular, what if my husband has, he comes late home, and when he comes, he's always on his phone, he shouts, he doesn't speak to me nicely. How can I be gracious in a situation like that? I mean, I have questions like that. Women asking me, how can they be gracious? How can they apply that Proverbs 31 woman in that kind of situation where maybe the husband is not being nice to them and he's coming home late, he's, drunk, how can they apply that?
Because you also need to look at the root cause. What made him become that? If he's the one who really followed after you, proposed to you, and say to you, I want to spend the rest of my life. What made him change? So there's so many things. When we are young girls, the moment you get married, you think you've arrived. If you used to take care of yourself, you're no longer. And you now spend the whole day at home just sitting, not doing anything. Not even knowing that at home you can still make money at home. Maybe if you are nursing a child and you're not going to work. And you're always asking, he's coming from work and you're always asking, there's no salt. It ends up boring. I mean, you need to do things that excites you. That's exciting as a young couple and as a young woman. Take care of yourself. Go to the gym. If you can't go to the gym, jog. Yes, and read books, improve yourself. Because the good thing about it, you are also improving your vocabulary, that even when he comes, you know what to talk. Know what's happening in the world. Talk about the inauguration of Trump, or talk about what's happening in Iraq, or talk about what's happening in Russia. Because normally when people get married, they no longer have things to talk about. The husband now is reading his newspaper. Maybe he's reading his newspaper on his own. And you are also now spending your time maybe on your WhatsApp or something. Just to have some 30 minutes every day of quality time for you and him. Even when he comes from work and you are not working, and he comes, welcome him, give him his tea or whatever he likes. Let him maybe take a shower. If he doesn't take a shower, give him the food, relax, and then you can do other stuff. It depends. Families are different. Yeah. But my husband likes freshly squeezed juice. So I make sure that he is freshly squeezed juices. So if I try to give him sodas, then you can end up having problems. So you need to know what he wants. Know his likes. Know what makes him tick. What is it that makes my man tick? what makes him happy. And some people say, oh, he doesn't even take me out. He doesn't take me for lunch. I started taking my men out, teaching him what you wanted. He has to know what I want. He has to know what makes me happy. You know, those days we used to have Wimpies. And I loved the burger and coffee from Wimpy. So I used to pay. Until he started paying.
Wow.
Even when we used wanting to go, because he grew up in Murewa. Me, I was a field girl. And we used to go for holidays. And he didn't know about holiday. He didn't know about birthdays. In their family, they never celebrated birthdays. So I made sure that when it was his birthday, I would spoil my man. And I used to spoil him.
Wow.
And then he started doing it. Because I was teaching him, there must be a diplomatic way of teaching. Yes, and then I really wanted to go and sleep out. I started sleeping at those days at the Sheraton. It was like mind-blowing. So I would pay telling him that this week we are sleeping in the Rainbow Towers, and he loved it. I'll spoil him. And now he started to do it in a better way. He takes me all over the world.
Wow.
I started booking for him economy, but he books for me business. So do for him what you would want. Treat him like a king, and he treats you like a queen. And the motto in our house, do not shout unless the house is on fire. You don't use your bedroom as a courtroom. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and if there is something, maybe that's happening, and that I don't like. You said something about coming home late, that some husbands come home late. Guess what? My man, he has never been home late. Not even 5 minutes. But I was the one who's been late. Yeah. So many times. You know, sometimes, you go to the shops and then you meet someone with that one, you talk. And then you don't even look at the tab. Yeah. So let's say an advice to young people. Let's say your husband comes home late. You need to understand why. You don't just get angry that you are late. Where were you? When he comes, honey, welcome. I was worried that you were not here. I could not even eat without you. Your presence means so much to me.
Mm.
Because if you say you is an accusing word. It's accusatory. You are always late. Maybe you tried his phone, it was off. And you was late. You need to use I statements, honey. I was worried for you, Kel. Right. And because I did not accuse him, even the way he answers, but if I start with that, you are always home late, then men with the ego, with the pride, they are very defensive. It's also trying to raise this voice. So there's a polite way. That's why the Bible says in Proverbs, she opens her mouth with wisdom. On the tongue is the law of kindness. Because this tongue is a boneless organ, yet it has the ability to crush bones. Wow. So just wisdom to live with your man. Just know what the opposite sex wants. Use opposite sex. A man. What are the things that men like? Because like me, when normally I used to ask, so how was your day? I used to like detail. Or you would just say, I went with my friend for lunch, and I wanted to know what they were talking about during the lunch. And say, you used to just have there maybe one or two. You need to understand your person. You need to know. No, you just know we had fun with the XY. We did this. So you need to know that they're into headlines. Yes. We are into detail. So I gave him my detail. He gave me his headlines. Yes. And you're content. And I'm content.
Wow.
And I'm happy with him. Yes.
Wow.
Because he knows how to treat me because I know how to treat him. I give him space. He's an author. He writes. I'm also an author. I write. So and we also do counseling. Sometimes we can do online at home. So I don't disturb him. He doesn't disturb me. But we make sure that we have time to watch soccer together. We watch soccer together. I was not into soccer, but because there's so much into soccer, I have to learn one or two things. I know some of the players, so I have something to talk. And now what he also, if I am watching something that I like, he also watches with me. Yes. Well, I know that his mind is not really into it, but I don't have to force him to come and sit with me. But we are enjoying each other's company. Because we are just the two of us.
The two of you know, it is.
The sons are married, their homes, and so we will spend the rest of our lives together. So we must make sure that whatever we are doing, we are making my partner happy, he's making me happy.
And enjoying each other's company.
Oh my God, that's the most important thing. To enjoy each other's company. Tinotamba tsoro. Tinotamba makhadzi. Tinotamba snooker. Yeah, we do a lot of things together.
Wow.
We even play soccer outside.
Wow.
Yes.
I think that is so important, especially because now you're back to factory settings. I mean, you were 2 when you started, you're now back to 2. So just to round off, because I know we have so many things we want to talk about, I just want you to give me 5 life lessons that when you look and you say, you know what, Nyenge, I've been married for 35 years. I'm turning 60 this year. And these are the things that I have learned in life that I would want to impart. 5 burning life lessons that you'd want to give to people, to our community.
Okay, the first thing that I've learned in life is to mind my own business. Even as I'm married into the Kanokanga family, minding my business. Yes. In people's relationships, managing. Yes. And having the personal, having that relationship with Jesus. Having that relationship with the Father and the Holy Spirit. The me time with the Father is very important. So I enjoy having time, the fellowship, that intimacy that I have with the Father is very important. So it's important for people to have the quality time with the Father. I've also learned to have, just to take care of me, taking care of me, watching what I eat. Exercising and being happy. Because these days there's a lot of mental health problems. Many people are depressed. They are frustrated. They are worried. They don't know how to keep this. So to me, it's so important on how I keep my heart. Because out of it comes the issues. And the Bible says, that word have I hidden in my heart, that I will not sin against you. Hiding his word in me. Every day, I make sure that I memorize scripture. That word is important to me. That word helps me in so many things. So, being like Christ is very important to me. To talk like him, to walk like him, to behave like him. It's very important. And that will also make, since I'm a married woman, it helps my marriage. Because when I'm like Christ, there's no way I can fight with my husband. For 35 years I've been married, there was not a day that we had physical exchange of words. We never fought. Because you're more like Christ. So to me, that is very important. So taking care of my health. The meditation. Yes. I meditate day and night. Yes.
Wow. So when you get our spirit man right, that's where everything flows from there. You know, making sure that our spirit man, our spiritual, our relationship with God, understanding the word, it really helps a lot. And then the way we behave and the way we encounter other people, you know.
Yes, we are moving containers. When I say we are moving containers, we are the temple of the Holy Spirit. He lives in us. We are the carrier of the presence of God. We receive Jesus in our heart and the Holy Spirit in our heart. So we are not ordinary. So the way we carry ourselves and what we carry, we carry power in us. I carry power. So when I carry power, I need to be very careful, even with my words. Because you can destroy, you can break things, you can curse.
With your words.
With your words.
Wow.
Yes.
Pastor Gwen, you know what? I still have so many questions. I would love to go on, but our time is not on our side. But just to close us off, I just want to I have a few fun questions that I want to ask you, you know, just to tell me, what is your favorite color and why?
Wow, my favorite color is gold.
Wow.
Oh, you can actually see I've got gold. Yes, I love gold. Yes, and actually many people, they actually bless me with gold thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people have been blessing me with gold stuff.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful. That's nice. What's your favorite animal and why?
My favorite animal, lion.
Yeah.
Jesus is the lion of the tribe of Judah. And that lion of the tribe of Judah lives in me. That makes me a lion's dad. That's why I have to die.
I love that. I love that because I also love the lion. What's one book that you've read that has made a huge impact on you?
Keeping Your Marriage Intact from Davison Kanokanga, my man, my most handsome.
Oh, wow. We should actually get a copy of that and share it with our viewers. That would be good. So to be
Yeah, well, he's got 11 books, marriage and true on law.
Oh, wow. I think a lot of people need to, because the Institute of Marriage is under attack. And I think a lot of people need to read these kind of books too, just cement their relationship.
And you asked why? I love it. Because the author lives what he preaches.
Ah, yeah. And that's very important. Yeah. That's very, very important. And then, what's one movie you've watched? All-time favorite?
One movie. Oh. The name, I'm forgetting the name. But the person died. The one with that Aldana Gurira, what is it?
Oh, the Black Panther. Black Panther? What was it? Black Panther. Yeah,
Yes, I love the Baker.
Ah, okay, Black Panther. Ah, nice. When you're winding down, what's your favorite song to play? So you're cooking, and what's the song that you play?
My favorite song to play. I've got so many favorites.
Okay.
Oh my God. Maybe. Well, I'm more of a worshiper. I love worship. Even that's simple. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Sometimes I get in the spirit alone. Oh, that's beautiful.
I can put the instrumental, some of the times, yeah.
Okay. So we've packed our bags. We have our passports. We are going to the airport. Where are we flying off to? Right now, if I say, Pastor Gwen, let's go to the airport. I've got your ticket. I've got your passport. I've got your bag. I'm going to buy your ticket. Where would you want to go right now?
Right now. Wow. I would love to go to Thailand again. Last December I was in Thailand. Yeah,
You loved it.
I loved it.
You loved it.
I mean, I've been to maybe 45 countries. But I love Thailand. The only thing is the worship Buddha.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah.
But you loved it.
But I loved it. I love nightlife.
And
Yes, and now I love nightlife. I love water. I love seafood. But there is a lot to do. I mean, there's some countries that when you go, like Singapore, after 2 days you're finished. Seychelles, 2 days you're finished. So with Thailand, you can, and the people are very friendly. They're very friendly.
oh, wow.
Yeah, they're very friendly. And I love the Thai massage. So it was like after every 2-3 days, I'm having massage.
Oh, you're very so much into self-care. That's very important.
And I loved it. The other thing I liked about them was how they take care of their skin. I think it's something, maybe when I turned 50, I wasn't really taking care of myself like I used to do. But when I came back from Thailand, because of what I'd seen, I said to myself, no, in my 60s, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to look good.
I'm loving this. I'm loving. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this. Pastor Gwen, it's been a pleasure having you. You know, you're such an awesome, your energy, you know, it's just been so amazing to have you here, to have you on the show. And just one last word to our viewers as we close. What's your last word as we close the show today?
My last word is love yourself, take care of you, and love others.
Wow. So you heard Pastor Gwen, as you're going into the week, love yourself, love others. The word is love. So have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.